Now, it's not just these habits that you can adopt, or kittens or children. You can also adopt a new approach, for example, or a person might adopt a new attitude.
That's right. I watched a documentary about being vegetarian. Could I say that I have adopted a new diet?
You could. It does sound a little bit formal. I understand what you mean, but probably you'd just say, I've changed my diet or I've changed the way I eat. Let's look at that again. We've had kicking habits, stopping bad habits.
Longevity, living or lasting a long time.
And adopting, taking as your own.
Now, if you're interested in longevity, we recently asked, could humans live to 140 years old? Click here to watch that video.
And don't forget to click here to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another video. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Rapidly transforming societies. That's the only option left, says the UN, after a failure to cut carbon. This is News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil.
And I'm Beth. Make sure you watch to the end to learn vocabulary to talk about the story.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and try the quiz on our website. Now let's hear more about the story.
Being held in Egypt this month. Scientists say government failures to meet carbon targets will lead to a rise of more than 1.5 degrees. Only radically changing society will save us from climate disaster, they say.
You've been looking at the headlines, Beth. What's the vocabulary?
We have landmark, greenwashing, and warning shots.
This is News Review from BBC Learning English. Let's have a look at our first headline.
This one is from Euronews. What is COP27? Everything you need to know about Egypt's landmark climate conference.
So COP27, which is the annual International Climate Conference, is being described as a landmark. That's the word we're looking at. Right now, Beth, first of all, I want you to think of a famous city, London. When I mention London, what comes to mind?
I think of Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, the London Eye, the Houses of Parliament.
Okay, so these are important, memorable places, buildings, literally marks on the land, landmarks. Is that what we mean here?
Well, they are landmarks, but no, that's not what we're talking about here. So in the headline, landmark is used as an adjective to mean that something is so important that it might cause a dramatic change.
Okay, so the headline is suggesting that COP27 might be a landmark conference, a point where an important change is made. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And this adjective landmark is often put together with words like event, decision, or day. So, for example, if we think about when women first got the right to vote, this was a landmark event. It was very important for women's rights.
And can we use any other words or vocabulary to describe a similar thing?
Yeah, we could say that something is a turning point or a milestone, for example.
Okay, let's have a look at that one more time. Let's have a look at our next headline.
This is from The Guardian. Greta Thunberg to skip greenwashing COP27 climate summit in Egypt.
Okay, so Greta Thunberg, the very famous young Swedish climate activist, is going to skip the COP27 climate conference. That means she's not going to attend because she thinks it's an example of greenwashing. And greenwashing is the word we're looking at. Well, I know the word green and I know the word washing, but what's the sense?
Well, imagine a company that sells something bad for the environment, like a plastic bottle, but they cover it with a green label that symbolises being environmentally friendly. It might have nice pictures of forests on it, and it has words like organic and natural ingredients and recyclable.
Okay, so you're saying this bottle looks like it's really good for the environment, but actually it's just a plastic bottle and plastic isn't very good. So we're saying it's just marketing.
Exactly, yeah. This is greenwashing, and it is just a marketing approach that basically makes it look like an organisation is helping the planet, and that makes the customer want to buy the product. They want to help the planet too, but actually it's not really helping at all.
Right, so in this headline we see that Greta Thunberg thinks that COP27 is an example of greenwashing. She thinks that actually they are not taking it seriously, they just want people to think they are.
Yeah, that's right. And the headline uses the adjective greenwashing. It describes the event, in this case the conference, but we can also use greenwash as a verb. So that is the action of making something look more environmentally friendly than it actually is.
And a related idea and word is sports washing. That means when an organisation or a country hosts or supports a sporting event to try and make themselves look better. Let's take a look at that again. let's look at our next headline.
This one comes from Inside Climate News. Ahead of COP27, new climate reports are warning shots to a world off course.
The headline says that the world is off course. That means going in the wrong direction, metaphorically, to reach those climate targets. And we are looking at the expression warning shots. It's got something to do with guns, hasn't it?
Yeah, so literally in war, one side might fire a shot in the air or it might come from a cannon. And this is saying, we are here, prepare yourself. It is a warning. But in the headline, it's used metaphorically. There's actually no guns here.
That's right. So these new scientific reports say that unless we stay within that 1.5 degree limit, something really bad is going to happen.
Exactly. It is a warning shot to the world. And in this case, that bad thing that would happen is the climate would collapse.
Now, the expression warning shot is used very frequently in news media, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So it sounds very dramatic and it creates a really powerful image in the mind of the reader, and that helps them remember the story a little bit more.
Yeah, let's have a look at that one more time. We've had Landmark, an important event that could cause big changes.
Greenwashing. Companies say it's environmentally friendly, but is it really?
And warning shots, signals that show action is needed.
Don't forget, there's a quiz on our website, bbclearningenglish.com.
Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.
Bye. Have you ever quit your job because of a bad boss? New research says you're not alone. This is News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Beth.
And I'm Phil. Make sure you watch to the end to learn the vocabulary that you need to talk about this story.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and try the quiz on our website. Now, today's story.
Bad bosses make people quit. Almost a third of British workers in a recent study say that they've left the job because of their manager. Nearly a fifth of people say that their managers were ineffective. Unhappiness with management means workers are less likely to be motivated and less likely to stay. The survey also shows that most bosses are accidental managers, having never been taught how to run a team.
You've been looking at the headlines, Phil. What's the vocabulary?
We have prompted, formal, and attrition.
This is News Review from BBC Learning English. Let's have a look at our first headline.
Yes, this is from The Guardian. Bad management has prompted 1 in 3 UK workers to quit, survey finds.
As this headline says, a third of British workers have quit because of bad management. We're going to learn about the word prompt. Phil, what's the connection between bad managers and people leaving their jobs?
Well, it's quite simple. One thing causes something else to happen. It prompts it to happen. So having a manager who's not very good might prompt you to leave your job. If you see another job advertised with a really high salary, that might prompt you to apply for that job.
Yeah, that's one meaning. And I remember when I was studying for exams, I used prompt cards. I would write information on them to try and help me remember.
Yes, we call them prompt cards because they prompt you to do something. They prompt you to remember. In fact, you could say they prompt your memory. And actually, Beth, what's that you've got in your hand?
It's my script. You have one too. And if I forget what I'm going to say, I can look down and it prompts me. Okay, let's look at that again. And remember to make some notes to prompt your memory in the future. Let's have our next headline.
This is from Fortune. Nearly all bosses are accidental with no formal training, and research shows it's leading 1 in 3 workers to quit.
This headline is about accidental managers and how they can lead people to leave their jobs. We're going to learn about the word formal. Now, Phil, I know formal language, like putting yours sincerely at the end of a letter. Formal dress might be a suit or something like that, but what do we mean here?
Well, we're talking about formal training, but it's related to all those examples you've just given. If you're using formal language, there are rules and you have to follow them. If you want to dress formally, then you need to follow the rules. And formal training is officially organised, so there are rules to follow, and there's probably an exam at the end of it as well.
Okay, so my university degree and my teaching qualifications were formal training. I had to follow the rules, do exams and assignments. But can we have informal training like we have informal language and informal dress?
Yeah, of course. Think about all of the things that you've learnt without having to do a course. Maybe you taught yourself, or maybe you asked someone to help you. Beth, is there anything that you've learnt to do informally?
I suppose I learnt to sing, I learnt to cook. That's all informal training. I suppose you could say that